雪国 Snow Country Part 1 The train came out of the long tunnel into the snow country. The earth lay white under the night sky. The train pulled up at the signal stop. A girl who had been sitting on the other side of the car came over and opened the window in front of Shimamura. The snowy cold poured in. Leaning far out the window, the girl calls to the station master as though he were a great distance away. The station master walks slowly over the snow, a lantern in his hand. His face was buried to the nose in a muffler, and the flaps of his cap were turned down over his ears. "It's that cold, is it?" thought Shimamura. Lo, the block-like buildings, as might have been a railway dormitories, were scattered here and there up the frozen slope of the mountain. The white of the snow fell away into the darkness some distance before it reached them. "How are you?" the girl called out. "It's Yoko." "Yoko, is it? On your way back?" "It's gotten cold again." "I understand. My brother was come to work here. Thank you for all you've done. It will be lonely, though. This is no place for a young boy." "He is really no more than a child. You will teach him what he needs to know, won't you?" "No, but he is doing very well. We will be busier from now on, with the snow and all. Last year, we had so much that trains were always being stopped by avalanches, and the whole town was kept busy cooking for them. But look at the warm clothes, would you?" My brother said to his letter that he wasn't even wearing a sweater yet. "I'm not warm unless I have on the 4 layers myself. A young one started drinking when it gets cold. And the first thing you know, there is over there in the bed with cold." He waves his lantern toward the dormitories. "Does my brother drink?" "Not that I know of. You're on your way home now, are you?" "I had a little accident. I've been going to the doctor." "You must be careful." The station master, who had an overcoat and over his kimono, turned as if to cut freezing conversation short. "Take care of yourself," he called over his shoulder. "Is my brother bear here now?" Yoko looked out over the snow-covered platform. "See that he behaved himself." It was such a beautiful voice that it struck one as that. In all its high resonance, it seems to come echoing back across the snowy night. The girl was sitting leaning out the window when the train pulled away from the station. "Tell my brother to come home when he has a holiday," she called out the station master, who was walking also along the tracks. "I will tell him," the man called back. Yoko closed the window and then pressed her hands to her red cheeks. 3 snowdrops that were waiting for a heavy snow here on the border range. There was an electric avalanche warning system and north and south entrance to the tunnel. 5,000 workers were ready to clear away the snow, and and then 2,000 young men from the volunteer fire department could be mobilized if they were needed. Yoko's brother will be working at this signal stop, so soon to be buried under the snow. Somehow, that fact made the girl more interesting to Shimamura. The girl, something in her manner suggested a married girl. Shimamura, of course, has no way of being sure what her relationship was to the man with her. They acted rather like a married couple. The man was clearly ill, however, and an illness shortened and distant between a man and a woman. The more earnest the ministrations, the more the two comes to seem like husband and wife. A girl taking care of a man far older than she, for all the world like a young mother, can from a distance be taken for his wife. But Shimamura, in his mind, has cut the girl off from the man with her and decided from her general appearance and the manner as she was unmarried. And then, because he had been looking at her from a strange angle for so long, an emotion's peculiarity, his own hands that perhaps colored his judgment. It has been 3 hours earlier. In his boredom, Shimamura started at his left hand as the forefinger bent and unbent. Only this seems to have a vital and immediate memory of the woman he is going to see. The more he tries to call up a clear picture of her, the more his memory failed him. The farther she faded away, leaving him nothing to catch the hold. In the midst of this uncertainty, only the one hand, and then in particular for the forefinger, even now seems to dump from her touch, seems to be pulling him back to her from afar. Taken with the strangeness of it, he brought the hand to his face, and then quickly drew a line across the mid-over window, and a woman's eye floated up and before him. He almost called out in his astonishment, but he had been dreaming, and he came to himself. He saw that is why only the reflection in the window of the girl at opposite. Outside it was growing dark, and the light has been turned on its train. Transformation the window into a mirror. The mirror had been crowded over with stream until it drew that line across it. The one eye by itself was strangely beautiful, but the failing the traveller's awareness and then putting his face to the window as if to look at the scenery outside. He cleared the stream from the rest of the grass, and then Gao leaned attentively forward, looking down the man before her. 今日はここまで。続きはまた次回。三田クラスでした。